You don't have to be an expert at all to craft and create educational how-to YouTube videos. And check this out, you may have a huge advantage if you're not. If you're just getting started and you don't have a lot of results, turns out that's not the thing that people really care about. It's one of the things, and I'm not gonna, say you don't have to like share helpful information, of course, but it's not about being an expert. And there are so many amazing things associated with crafting and creating how-to educational videos. And I thought I'd take the time today and really break down some of the things I did early on this channel to give me a big advantage, because frankly, how-to videos are a lot easier when you know what I've come to learn over the years. So that's what this video is all about, and I'm really glad you made it. My name is Brian G. Johnson, and I've been creating this kind of content now for over 22 years, and it allowed me to quit my job as a chef and really just craft and create content in a number of different ways. On YouTube, I started about 8 years ago without any viewers, no subscribers, no viewers, brand new channel, and I set out wanting to, I didn't have it all figured out. You hear, you gotta know your perfect video title and you have to have the niche. Honestly, I had a good idea of where I wanted to go, and I simply started making videos, and people started following because of one of three particular things. And I got to tell you, when I learned this about these three things from my friend Brad Goss, it was really a huge relief, because I felt so much pressure about being an expert and having all the answers. And it turns out like sometimes people will listen for that, absolutely. But that's only one of about 3 or 4 reasons why people follow people or watch people on YouTube. The first is just because they kind of like you. Now, when you can just share from your heart, you break things down and you're not trying to come off as anybody other than who you are. And you're not trying to share anything other than what you got to share. People love that. In fact, I wrote this book, Trust Funnel, years ago, and one of the things I talk about in this book is this exact thing. Now, what I call this is playing your hand. If you're brand new and you're a newbie, then you can create a video and all you need to say is, hey, I'm just getting started. I don't have all the answers. And I know I certainly don't. But when you share from that perspective, it kind of, releases all that pressure, because you're just, hey, I just want to share this thing. I'm just getting started and I got this great result. Let me show you how I did it. That's it. And that allows you to then move forward and just simply share again from the heart how you did it. Now, that's just one of, again, 3 or 4 reasons why people follow. The second one is for the information that you share. So if you're going to create a how-to video or an educational video, you do want to take the time to really break things down in a manageable way. And one of the things, again, that's really freeing, and I need to be honest, I need to remind myself of this big time, because I sometimes go too deep and it's too much for the viewers, and they're like, man, I'm just trying to get started, and they might leave. I find when you find that balance between really helpful and inspiring information and just coming from a place of I'm just getting started, it makes it accessible for viewers and they're more likely to watch. So you don't have to have the perfect set of steps and so on. You can just share. And then lastly, people follow people they just kind of like I mentioned. Like if they like you, which over time they will, people will return to your channel just because they dig what you're about. And I hear people saying that all the time. So know that when you decide, hey, I'm going to move forward, I'm going to craft and create a channel around this one particular niche, then you can move forward, and over time people will start to follow you, especially when you're authentic with what you have to offer. And there are so many benefits as well. Like one of the things is you can make life-changing income. I feel so grateful. Years ago, like literally 15 years ago, I launched a program teaching people how to build simple websites, and I included some offers that would allow people to get domain names really cheap. And I set this up myself. I reduced the prices to the rock bottom, and then I offered this, and now every single month for I think about 13, 14 years now, I make around $1,000 to $2,000. For about 15 or 20 hours of work I did 12 years ago. Incredible. You know, and that's really a powerful thing. And second of all, is I get really fulfilled by making these types of videos and learning along the way. You know what's one of the dirty secrets is it makes me a better content creator because I'm trying to share information from a place of authenticity, and over time I absolutely believe my videos have gotten better, and a lot of viewers have said the same thing. So that's really rewarding. But the biggest thing by far is the fact that a lot of people are just so grateful for what you'll do for them. You know, it's not about views. It's about real people that will connect with you. I'm in Best Buy and I'm looking for a camera. I've got one camera, too many cameras to count, and a guy stops me. He's like, "Hey, Brian Johnson, I watch all of your videos. Thank you so much." So many people have just said thank you, and you can do that too. But really just begins with deciding it shall be and taking the next step. And there's a number of things really that make it easier for you to get more views, because how-to videos give you a massive advantage. So as we kind of move forward, I just want to really share how I do this, the process that I've used, how I overcome some hurdles and so on. So the first thing is I want to share what I did about 2 or 3 months ago. I wasn't necessarily in a funk, but coming down here for whatever reason sometimes creates more pressure for myself. So I went outside. In fact, I went on a few road trips, and I just filmed along the way, and I created content under the umbrella of making YouTube videos, whether it's how to make a vlog, a camera, about the YouTube algorithm, and I just started shooting content. And sometime I would just sit down on a bench and I would share from the heart, and I got out of this environment and it was easier for me. So if you struggle with the idea of creating these types of videos, number one, I do recommend that you get started and you try to set something up where you can constantly return to the same location in your home, and you can set up the camera and press record. And the more you have everything dialed in, the better, because it makes it really fast and easy to move forward and create great looking videos. Hopefully like this one. I love the little bit of red that pops on the YouTube silver play button. You know what I mean? So when you do that, when you set something up, it makes it really easy for you to craft and create videos on an ongoing basis. And this is definitely one of the things you really want to think about. You want your methods and your setup, your workflow, to be two things. It starts with S. You want it to be simple and sustainable. Simple and sustainable. And by sitting down in a chair and really just sharing from the heart what you've learned, that is really simple, especially once you break the barrier that stops a lot of us. You know, once you make a few of these videos, it won't be any problem at all. But I also recommend that if you feel a sense of pressure at any point, try something new, and oftentimes getting in a new environment makes it easy for you to, again, break through the barrier that stops a lot of people. So that's one of the things I did just a few months ago. And I also talked about one of the things I really love and that I'm inspired by, which is I love like the filmmakers, creating kind of something that looks cinematic and pretty. Lately, I've been researching anamorphic lenses. Now, you probably don't care about that, but let me ask you, what do you care about really under the umbrella of what you want to share about? Now, if you're not sure, that's totally normal. And the thing I recommend you do is just have a general idea and decide you're going to create a video no matter what in a number of days. Just kind of give yourself a deadline. Like, there's nothing wrong with research. And in fact, I think that's another thing that you should do. It really gives you a huge advantage when you do what I call research and recon on the niche or the industry that you want to enter. It gives you a massive advantage because you can kind of identify who the players are, who's getting the results, but more importantly, what people are responding to in terms of the types of videos being made and what people are watching. Super, super powerful. But you might not have it all dialed in, and I want to pull it back to my beginning. When I started, I knew it would be something about video and YouTube, and I could have gone in a few different directions. I could have gone more marketing and how to make money on YouTube. In fact, a lot of YouTube creators, Sunny Lenarduzzi comes to mind, right? She started out teaching how to educational content around YouTube, and then later decided she wanted to branch out and talk more about business and making money, just like Ed Lawrence, another really great example. But what about you? If you're not really sure, then what I would say is think about 3 or 4 topics that, yeah, I can see myself making that type of content in the future, and just decide to make a video or so. And the only thing I really try to focus on as I'm moving forward is the next video in front of me. That's it. Like, hey, I just want to make this next video, and I'm just going to cover this particular topic, and when I'm done, I'll kind of review, see how it turned out, and I'll move forward with creating my next video. And the thing I always try to do is stay consistent with publishing anywhere between maybe 4 and 8 or 10 videos a month. Now, these are long form videos, and that's just a really great place to start because, again, it allows you not to have all the answers, which typically we don't when we're just getting started. Let's talk about the results that absolutely people do want, and the more you understand the kind of results that people are looking for, the more likely you can create videos, especially over time, that have those results. Now, this is super helpful when you don't have any results at all. For example, this is, again, kind of from a passage from my book, Trust Funnel. When I started out, I wanted to teach internet marketing and how to make money by leveraging things like self-publishing, affiliate marketing, and I've made a ridiculous amount of money with those things. But I didn't necessarily have a lot of those results early. I was making a few $1,000s, and my competition, other people in the industry, they were making ridiculous tens of thousands of dollars per month. So the thing that I did is I thought, well, the first thing is people want to learn how to make money, but the second thing is they want to learn how to get traffic, because without traffic, you can't make any money. Just like on YouTube, we call traffic viewers and views. Like if you don't have any views, well, you're going to struggle. Now, when I started my YouTube channel, I was aware of this, and I didn't want to be the guy telling people how to get views when I hadn't done it. Man, this is so powerful. So what I did is I created 3 playlists talking about different subtopics that allowed me to create content in those areas like video editing, branding, just like how to create a brand on YouTube or online, leveraging social media to create your own brand, and then YouTube growth. Now, by far the most challenging topic to get views in is how to get more views. But early, I started getting a lot of views based on the videos I published teaching people how to edit videos. The only thing I needed to demonstrate was a cool effect, and then I could share that in my video, and guess what happened? When I did that, I got the thing that my audience really wants, which was how to get more views. So then what did I do? I started saying, hey, I played my hand and I said, I'm just getting started. And I'll be honest, I don't have all the answers, but I did get a lot of views. In fact, in the last 2 months, I've driven 10,000 views, which I'm blown away. And I want to show you exactly what I did. And then the quick introduction. Hey, I'm Brian. This channel is all about YouTube, maybe video editing at the time, and so on. And then over time, as I started to develop more and more results, then I leaned into more of what I truly wanted to talk about, which was and still is YouTube education. Now, this is a powerful way you can really get the results in an easier way, because you can have a few different playlists and it sets you up for success. But you want to stop yourself and you want to say, well, what are the things that people are really, really interested in, and so on. But how do you actually move forward and craft and create these types of videos? Well, think about this. You don't have to be on camera, but it is very simple and sustainable to grab your phone and just, hold it up, talk to the phone, the camera, and record yourself. You don't need fancy editing at all. You really, really don't. You don't need to add in the B-roll. You don't need to add in the music. What you really want to honor are the most important things. And I'm actually writing my third book, so I'm excited to release that, and it's called Built for the Viewer. And I talk about this very step-by-step system that allows people to focus on only the most important thing. And on YouTube, it's only about 10 things. One of them is just really coming up with a simple and sustainable workflow. And I talk about that. I talk about crafting really fundamentally basic and stripped down videos, and filming with your phone makes that a reality. But what we do want to do is really make sure we're honoring the fundamentals of doing kind of like best practices when we make a video. So for example, right now when I look at the lens, it's pretty much at eye level. Everything is pretty much framed well. I think it's a good distance from me. I can zoom in and zoom out a little bit digitally if I want to edit a little bit, which I often do. And I'll also film in 4K because that increases the quality. It looks great. Now, if you don't want to film in 4K, frankly, it doesn't matter that much on YouTube. If you think about it, most people are watching videos on their phones and they're streaming at 480p, 720p. So it's really just a matter of honoring, again, what's most important for the viewer. Let's say, that's great, but I don't want to be on camera. What are some other methods that you can leverage to make it happen? Actually, before we do that, I want to leave you with a few more thoughts for if you are going to do kind of like how-to content and you're really explaining something where you do something physically, filming yourself doing that, and then taking that footage, and then after that, sitting down in a chair or standing and breaking down the process is really a great way to create videos. Then you just take the video of you talking and explaining, and you use a simple editing program like iMovie for your phone, or any free app that allows you to edit your video. Then you're going to incorporate you breaking down and sharing the step-by-step process of doing that thing. So when I was cooking, for example, I've made videos where I just wanted to talk about creating like a cinematic video at home, and I just shared the process of doing that, and I've got all this footage of me doing that in real time. Now, I did it at the same time. I shared what I'm doing, some of the thought process and so on, but I think it's a little bit easier to do it in 2 steps. But what if you don't want to be on camera? You can use free tools like OBS or simple editing software to create kind of slideshows, and you can kind of take from what we just talked about, which is filming yourself. Just maybe film your hands, sewing or creating a craft and so on. Maybe you take photos and videos, and then you use a free editing software app, like maybe CapCut is a great option. You can get started for free, and it's it's got a lot of features built in, which is awesome. You can also use DaVinci Resolve. Now, their editing software is super, super powerful, and you can upgrade for a one-time cost. But again, the free version lets you edit and almost do everything you need. Pretty much, you can absolutely start and publish 100 videos with no problem. And this gives you a way to really create explainer videos where you walk through and explain how you can do something with stock footage. Now, this is something you can get for free as well. If you search for free, royalty-free stock footage, you go out and you take photos, or you simply just film on your phone. You can build out these kinds of videos as well. Now, another thing you can do is you can record your voice as well, right? You can create a voiceover, or as I've mentioned many times, if you don't want to do that, you can leverage like free AI software to create a voiceover where you take a script kind of breaking down your thought process, and then the software will create a voiceover, and then you can build your video leveraging that. And you know what's interesting is the voiceovers are starting to get really, really good. What should you expect as you get started? First off, it's probably going to feel pretty awkward. I remember when I got started, I felt so much pressure. It almost stopped me from moving forward, but I'm so grateful that it didn't. So if you feel like a lot of pressure, if you feel strange, if you feel weird when the camera light is on, it's okay. And I would just suggest that, number one, you're not alone at all, and people go through this all the time. But over time, you'll have an easier time just managing that. And know this, once you put yourself in front of a camera or you start making these videos and you feel that kind of annoyance, you feel awkward, you don't quite feel yourself, this absolutely dissipates in real time that moment. In other words, if you press record, you might feel weird for 5 minutes, which seems like an hour. But it's really just 5 minutes. And if you continue to film, what happens is often you can reduce some of that anxiety, and it'll allow you just to talk and create with another human being. And this really kind of goes into like, how do you present on camera, or if you're making a voiceover? The first thing is just to be prepared for that anxiety to creep in. And if it does, it's totally okay. And give yourself the grace to know that, hey, I can just keep going, and I can kind of calm down a little bit, and I can kind of center my body and breathe, and that will help reduce the anxiety. It really does. And furthermore, the more you continue to do the thing that you're a little afraid of, the less likely that'll happen in the future. It really does get a lot easier, to the point of creating a video just like this. It can be done in less than 1 hour, start to finish. Like most videos on YouTube that are long form videos might be between 5 and 15 minutes, meaning you can have it filmed and done in probably a half an hour, and then you can edit it really quickly. Once you learn that, it might take you, maybe it takes you an hour the first time, but by the 5th time, I guarantee it'll be a lot faster, and you'll be able to like cut out pauses or awkward moments and so on. Making it really simple and easy to move forward and create these types of videos. And as you get comfortable doing it, you'll be amazed at what happens. You don't have to be incredibly good looking. You don't have to be perfectly chiseled if you're a dude. You don't have to be incredibly beautiful if you're a woman. You know, people connect with authenticity here on YouTube. The thing I always try to remind myself is I want to bring the best version of myself forward in an authentic way, and I just want to try to share from the heart. Now, as you do this, growth will start slow, and I promise you it'll seem like it's not working, but I want you to hang in there. And the best thing you can do, I truly believe, is to give yourself a certain amount of time that you're going to commit to YouTube. Like if it's something you want to do, before you upload a video, I would write down on a piece of paper, okay, like I'm committing to this for 6 months, and I'm going to publish at least 4 videos a month for this long. And then I would post that right up to the wall. So right here, I could kind of hang this on my wall. You know, I can have a whiteboard right next to me, and on the whiteboard I might not have like all the things I need to remember, or I could, but more so I would be like, I'm going to continue to make videos until January 1st, 2026. So today it's summer solstice. It's June 20th. Amazing long day. And January is really far away. But if I commit to that and I promise myself that, hey, it always takes creators a while before they break out. Like literally nobody just blows up out of the blue. They're always making videos for a period of time. So I'm going to honor that. I'm going to give myself some grace, and I'm going to keep going for 6 months. I think when you do that, you're really setting yourself up for success. And here's why. When you move forward and you start creating videos in this manner, what happens is a lot of times a video you think is a dud will break out and blow up months later. I've seen this countless times. I've seen it in so many of the people that I've coached. They think it's not working, and then what happens is the views, as they trickle in, start to add up, and you reach this tipping point with the algorithm, because the most important thing, one of them, is without question the accumulated watch time of a video. Now, when a video has exceptional watch time metrics right out of the gate, it can blow up. When you also have a video driving 20 views a day, which it's not a lot, but it starts to add up, and then all of a sudden 6 months later a video is now driving 100, 200 views a day. And when you have a number of videos that are driving 100 to 300 views a day, it is such a powerful way to really grow a channel because it's manageable. Now, one of the things I do is I try to stay open to really being open to any way I get views. In other words, like you can get views from YouTube search. You can learn to target search terms on YouTube, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. Sometimes your videos will get views in browse. It doesn't really matter for me personally. The only thing I care about is that, number one, I'm honoring the niche I set out to focus on when I start. Now, if you're not sure, like I said, you don't have to have it all figured out. But eventually, I'd say within a month or two, you need to focus on one thing. And I think the more you do that, the more likely you'll see success. And then as you move forward, you just honor that content, that niche. You honor the viewer who just subscribed, and you think, well, I'm not going to make a video. Instead, I'm going to make a playlist like on YouTube editing or YouTube growth, and I'm going to publish videos on this topic again and again to bring people back to my channel. And then when I do that, I'll be more likely to get them to come back. And all of a sudden, like I said, a video that gets 100 views a day is incredible because it's not hard to get 10 of those in your catalog when you make these types of how-to videos. Really cool. And all of a sudden you're doing 1,000 views a day, even when you're not publishing. Then if you're publishing one or two videos a week, then you're doing 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 views a day, but it builds over time, and you should expect that if you're average and ordinary. Like some people are really gifted in a number of areas. Maybe they're great on camera because they used to be on the news. Maybe they've got a lot of skills and abilities around video editing, giving them another advantage, and so on. Now, if you're just getting started, again, give yourself the grace to learn these things over time, and you'll be fantastic. But in the beginning, it's going to take some time, and that's why we want to promise ourselves to stay in the game. You will never, ever publish a perfect video trying to have all your notes in line mapped out on your phone so you don't forget something. It's so important, I don't want to forget. Let it go. You'll always forget something. Or interesting, sometimes you should actually cut parts of your video that may have great content, but if you ramble on too long, if it's too disjointed, you may want to cut it out, meaning your video isn't perfect, but that's not why viewers, right? That's not what they really want, which is interesting because my book that I'm working on now is called Built for the Viewer, and I really focus on two things, wants and needs. And the wants are what you always hear about, right? topics are so important, titles and thumbnails, but the need is they need to feel comfortable with you. They need to feel at ease with the information you share. And this is why it's so powerful just to break it out like it is. Like you want to paint the best picture you can, but you always want to be honest. Hey, I'm just getting started. I don't know much about this, how to get views, but I just did a thing. I drove 20,000 views. Let me show you how I made it happen. Maybe it'll work for you too. And that's it. Like, you see what I'm saying? So those are the things to think about. Is the most important thing is the viewer needs to feel comfortable. If they don't feel comfortable, how can they continue to come back to your channel again and again? They won't. I did mention titles and topics. Now this is really, really important. And if there's one thing you want to obsess on, I would really obsess on how to craft powerful video titles. And there are a bunch of methods that I've taught. One of the best ways, and if you're not doing this and you keep watching these videos, number one, please start publishing if you know you're not publishing enough. And number two, try out this method because it's really cool, and that is to find a number of channels that are kind of doing what you want to do. They're making the kind of videos, and when you see one or two of these channels publishing the same video with the same video title, like I've targeted this phrase, if your videos get less than 500 views, do this. And you know what? A lot of creators have made the same video. And what's interesting is this makes it really easy for the algorithm to connect your video with a group of viewers that have already watched that video from other creators. And because their videos have the same exact title as your video, guess what happens? YouTube will be really likely to put your video in front of all those viewers, and again, it just makes it easier for you to get views. It's interesting in that when you let go of all the things that don't matter too much, it makes it so much easier to move forward and get tremendous results online, here on YouTube, I should say. One of the things I'm trying to do with this particular video is I'm trying to dive deep to boost my watch time, but I'm not just inflating the video. Like someone mentioned the other day, oh my God, I can't believe it's so long. It took you so, like, the fact of the matter is that might be true, but a lot of people resonate with the video that did well. In a few days, it's got close to 4,000 views, which is great. Like, you might not think it's enough views, and I'm okay with that, but I do. And frankly, what's more important for me, and if you want to have a successful channel, check this out. I think the true sign of success on YouTube is you've got a group of viewers, a community that continues to come back to your channel again and again. They leave comments, they say thank you, you visit their channel. It's truly a community. It's all these people working together, sharing, and just supporting one another. That is success here on YouTube. And the moment you do that is the moment you can make money, do brand deals, because that's what brands want. They want to work with creators that are trusted by a group of viewers and so on. So for me, the thing I'm trying to do with my videos is make sure that instead of just having a short video, just spend a little bit more time, go deep, and so on. That's why you see Rob the Maritimer dropping 25-minute videos again and again and again. It's why my videos typically are at least 5 to 10 minutes, but I want to try going longer because it's such a great way to boost your watch time. But, and this is really important if you're starting out, you want to pay attention to one simple metric that you can track just on your phone in YouTube Studio, and it's average view duration. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to make a 20-minute video until you're able to keep viewers watching for 7-8 minutes. When you see you have a 7-minute average view duration, then go longer, right? When you publish a 10 to 12 minute video and people are watching for 6 to 7 minutes, that's great. But if they're only watching for 2 minutes, then the thing to do is not go longer, but strive to create content that connects with them immediately. And how do you do that? It's interesting. Rob mentioned this in a video he dropped, and it's the thing I do too. I try to really share great, helpful information at the very beginning. You know, instead of like, hey, I'm going to give the best tip at the end, I want to create the best tip at the very beginning, because another way that the algorithm measures watch time is retention, and they're going to pay attention to how many people are still watching your video at the 30-second mark. Now you can track this on your phone, you can track it on a desktop, but paying attention to your retention is really powerful. So I think I just want to give a great tip. I want to take my time. I want to be myself. I like speaking slower and breaking things down and telling stories. I think this is a format that I like, and people are responding, so I'll continue. But you can really measure your performance, and as you're able to keep people watching longer, then go a bit longer, because the thing you want to do is gain watch time. And furthermore, you're trying to get monetized. Obviously, when you have a 5-minute average view duration versus 1 or 2 minutes, you will get monetized so much faster. You might think this is hard, and it is, unless you put yourself in front of a camera and you simply talk, and then you come up with bullet points based on the topic at hand. And here's what's really cool about this. Over time, you'll become an expert in the field. You might not think you are, but people will start to call you that, and think about that. That's how they'll see you, and your job is just to show up and share from the heart and be authentic. And if they think you're an expert, if they think, you know, you're an educator, that's awesome. You do you. You think about yourself in any way you can that makes you feel comfortable. I'm a guy that just decided this was my niche. This is what I want to share. I really like this for a whole bunch of different reasons. And I just see myself as a YouTube creator, and my niche is teaching YouTube. That's it. YouTube monetization is super, super powerful, and I would really recommend you think about long-form videos and live streaming as a great way to jumpstart some of those earnings we mentioned earlier. So one of the things to think about is when you live stream, people can thank you with a super chat. I think I had a $10 or $20 super chat about a week ago, and I did channel reviews. And for them to thank me, they would just say, hey, $10, thank you so much. And I would walk away from a 2-hour live stream with hundreds of dollars every single week. So when you take that, that's a really good payday for 1 day of work, which you're doing, 2 to 3 hour live stream, and you're making $100, $200, $300. I think my high point was about $250 or so. So that's a great way to monetize. And furthermore, not only that, but you're going to earn money from the ads on your videos and so on. And I think it's such an awesome way to move forward and just create content, is to create in this manner where you're sharing based on how-to subjects. A great way to do this is to leverage the playlist strategy that we spoke about, and then to go one step forward. And to do that, you just want to go to the YouTube search bar. And if you're making videos, for example, in my case, it was how to edit on iMovie for iPhone. I would search for iMovie editing, and then A, and then iMovie editing B, and then iMovie editing C. And when you do that, and you just put in your search terms like growing on YouTube or getting views or how to garden or butterfly gardening A, B, you'll see all these examples. Now these are, I should say, suggestions from YouTube based on what other viewers on YouTube have searched for. And when you just incorporate that into your video and you make a video about that specific thing, so instead of making one video on iMovie, I made one for effects, a second one for effects, a third one for Ken Burns effect, a fourth one for color grading, a fifth one, and so on. And then what happens is a viewer will come in, you may rank for search, so you're going to get views on a daily basis, which is so powerful. right? I published a video about 6 months ago. Every day it drives around 200 to 300 views, and now it's upwards of 50,000 views because of those daily views. But because I'm creating a number of videos on one specific keyword phrase like iMovie editing, often they'll watch one video and then another video, and this totally triggers the algorithm. Furthermore, you don't get one view from a viewer, you get 3 views in maybe a 7-day period. When the algorithm sees that, they're going to be more likely to share your video with a group of people, and you'll crush it. Another really great way that you can monetize your content from day one is to simply leverage the power of affiliate links in your description. So this is something that I've done for a long time, and I get people signing up for TubeBuddy, and every month TubeBuddy sends me a payment, and this is a tool that I've used in the past and I still recommend. It's dated. There are some new things that could be incorporated, but the search functionality and the search tools are very powerful still today, and they can help you identify terms that are going to be easier to rank for, which is awesome. So really thinking about, this is the audience and the niche I'm going to enter in. And what are the products and the services, I should say, that these groups of viewers are going to be interested in? Then you can move forward, and all you got to do is just really think to yourself, well, I want to incorporate these affiliate links, and then over time, maybe every 10th video, you can make a video about one of those products, especially if it's closely connected to your niche. A lot of people struggle with affiliate marketing because they never build a dedicated audience around one specific niche. If you don't have that, it's really hard to make a sale, because they're watching your videos for too many different reasons. But when someone is trying to learn how to lose weight or get fit and get healthy and so on, they may hire you as a coach to be held accountable. They may buy a product like a book from you from Amazon. You can recommend a brand new book, which furthermore gives you another strategy based on search terms and topics that your audience is interested in. You know what I mean? It's so weird, but like the moment you have a niche, it actually gets a lot easier because you can spot the opportunity to drive the views and make money and so much more. I mentioned coaching calls. Now, this is a great way to start making money out of the gate, and you can do this actually relatively early in your career. There's no reason why you can't put it out there that, hey, I'm doing one-on-one calls, and if this is something you're interested in, check the link below. Now, you spend a little bit of time getting set up, and then you're good to go, and you don't have to make a thing about it. You can just say, like, if you want to get sponsored and you want to do a brand deal, well, I'll talk about that in just a bit. But the easiest way is to sponsor yourself and just take clients on a one-on-one basis and charge whatever you feel is fair, and you can pay attention to what other people are charging in your industry. $50 an hour, $100 an hour. I do a channel review for $200 or $300. I have a group coaching program for $500. These are the products and services that I offer. And in my video, I might start off with the hook like, hey, if you want to learn how to make educational content. And then as I film my video, I don't spend a really long time on trying to sell my product. I never do that. Instead, I really try to give out tons of value, but I just mention, hey, by the way, you may want to check out my YouTube Masterclass if you really enjoyed this content. And that's it. I might say, link in the description, and again, game over. Now, what's interesting is you can do this in literally less than 10 seconds, and anybody that over time gets to know and like you, they won't care. They'll continue to watch, and then some people will want help. And check this out, there's a lot of people that are going to buy products and services, and you have a chance to make the best product in the marketplace. And furthermore, it's from you. And people that really dig your teaching style, how you share, how you evolve over time, they'll want your course. So this is such a great way to get started with making money. Another powerful way is just to show up, be consistent, and honor the audience that not only you want to get in front of, but brands want to get in front of too. I can't tell you how many people contact me on a daily basis, and sometimes these can be really lucrative. You know, you can make thousands of dollars on a monthly basis to make 1 or 2 videos a month, and then to, mention the products and services when you're at live events, when you're on a live stream, to have links in your description and so on. It's such a wonderful way to make money by really leveraging what you already know and share in your YouTube videos. So I hope you found this video to be really helpful. And this video on the screen now can really help you to get the views, to make it happen, and to succeed on YouTube. I'll see you on that video. You dig?